Picture me a few years ago. I would play video games all the time. I would scroll on YouTube for hours on end. I would eat junk food. I would eat unhealthily. I wouldn't even exercise at all. I jerked off too. It's like I did all of those, and in all honesty, I was a loser. I was a loser, and really the only thing I had going for me was that I was kind of book smart. I was good at school, but who cares? Really, it just ended up happening that I was a loser who was also a nerd at the same time. And it really all came down to the fact that I was procrastinating at living my life. I was not focusing on myself, and instead I was focusing on some virtual character in a game that I'll forget about in a month. I would go from game to game, and I would actually focus, I would level up in a game instead of leveling up myself. And only once I stopped doing that did I actually stop feeling like a loser. Because really, I don't even care if like whoever thinks I'm a loser, yeah, whatever. But it's that I felt like a loser. It's because whenever you procrastinate on something big, especially, you feel guilty. You feel like you have a low self-esteem. Like you just feel like subhuman in a sense. You just feel horrible. You feel angry at yourself. You feel like desperate. All those feelings bundled up into one thing. And imagine living with that for so long that it just felt like the new norm. It just felt normal because I didn't care. Like honestly, it just felt like normal to me. And only now looking back, I realized that oh my God, what was I doing? How could I go through that for so long? And really, the first thing that I actually did to get out of that period of my life, which might help you a lot as well, was that I started working out. Working out is the cornerstone habit of my life. Without it, I wouldn't be here where I am today. Because I started working out, I actually started a habit that made me work on myself, that actually made me respect and love myself. And it's not like that self love stuff where it's like, oh, you eat a cake, but actual self love where I actually want to push myself and get better. And I started working out, and for the first time in my life, I was actually doing something, or at least what it felt like the first time in my life was I was doing something for myself. I wasn't doing something for a video game character. I wasn't doing something to stimulate myself. I was doing something so that I can get better in the future. And because I started working out, it's like I saw the light. I saw the light, and I actually started to think more about myself. And not in an egotistical, arrogant way, but in a sense that instead of focusing outward, I focused inward. And because of that, I actually started to live my life. I stopped procrastinating at actually living my life. And it's because I had to build up that self respect and that self esteem back up from the depths. And so I would honestly highly recommend you, if you relate at any point to that story I just told you, to start working out. And it doesn't even have to be working out, just start exercising in general. You'll find that you actually love yourself again. Like you'll find that you respect yourself. And especially the biggest thing was that I looked good. And I still look good. I think I look good, but especially like feeling big and actually feeling like you actually have some muscle on you was such a great boost to my self-esteem. Without it, I wouldn't actually be here today. And so I highly, 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 highly recommend that you start working out. And that even not working out, just start exercising. You'll see that you actually want to take action in your life again. And I promise you that you won't even actually no, that's not true. You'll feel like you want to go back to where you were before, but when you look back over a long enough time, you realize that you're much better off now than you were then.